I'm Mutsa. I'm a ceramicist who spends a lot of time in nature, foraging for wild clay and creating functional pottery. This is my husband Dan. He's one of the most creative people I know, and he loves woodwork. He's also a musician, and he creates all the music for our videos. One thing about us is we love nature. This is where we come alive the most. We've been on some incredible adventures. And we've always wanted to build a home life which also captures that deep connection with nature. We used to live in a city in a house without a lot of green space, and soon realised it just wasn't for us. So we packed up our things and moved. We're moving!
To new adventures.
We'd been dreaming of this move for a long time and were so ready to live in the countryside. We arrived at our new cottage home and spent the next 24 hours unpacking. It was chaotic, as moving always is, but we got there in the end. We've been here for a whole year now and have learnt something in each season. Happy New Year!
Yeah, happy 2024. We thought it'd be nice, as it's a new year, to look back on our first year of living in our home in the woods.
Yeah, I feel like it's that time of year where naturally both of us have been doing a lot of reminiscing, and we feel like a few themes have come up. The first one being living seasonally and finding joy in the small things. It sounds pretty obvious, but living surrounded by lots of trees has really made both of us notice each seasonal shift a lot more, and it sort of forces you to be more present and change the pace of how you live. Especially winter snow days. They were particularly slow and quite magical, actually. Today literally feels like we are in a Christmas card. It's so magical. I love it. But we realised we didn't stock up on food and we have nothing to have for lunch or dinner in the fridge.
Yeah, so we're walking to our nearest food shop because we're not even going to try and drive. The roads are absolutely covered in snow.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to go get some food. Wish us luck.
And this year I feel like I really noticed the shift from winter to spring. It felt really dramatic. Like the woods and the fields around just sort of burst into life and colour, and it was like everything was coming out of hibernation mode.
Including us.
Including us, because yeah, winter kind of forces you into that hibernation mode.
Also, a special mention to these horses who've made living here and going on walks more fun too. The second thing that we've learned over the last year is that it's really fun to forage for food. In the spring, it kind of felt like overnight the woods just burst full of wild garlic. It was amazing.
So much wild garlic. It was all over the forest floor, wasn't it?
Like a big carpet of it. You'd just be walking and the smell just hits you because there's so much of it. In the spring, we made wild garlic butter, which was lovely. We also made elderflower cordial. And as summer approached, we gathered dandelions and cleavers. I've also shared a few videos on TikTok about all the berry foraging that happened over summer too. All of the foraging inspired us to try and start a veg garden, which is probably a long-term goal. So we thought we'd start small with just a potato patch.
Yeah, we didn't grow a lot, but we tried.
I think it's safe to say it was a fail. This was our entire harvest.
Yeah, like a few potatoes, a handful, we can probably count.
4, 5 maybe? We did eat them and they were nice, but
they were.
We'll have to try again next year. I think some slugs may have gotten into them.
Yeah. The third thing I feel like we've taken from this year is the impact that daily walks and nature has had on our mental health. Like, it sounds so simple and obvious, but actually it really clears your head to just get outside and just keep it in a routine. Just walk, be with nature, it really clears your head.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed the difference in my day when I start the day with going out for a walk. Going outside and being in a wide open space or surrounded by big tall trees and noticing things like the bird song, that headspace starts your day off so much better.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily fix every issue, but it definitely gives me better perspective and clarity on the chaos of life.
Yeah, it's a game changer. I think it does more than you actually realise when you just go for a walk. So
again, it's so simple, you will have heard it many times, but we all need reminding, so that's your reminder to get out and go for a walk. The fourth thing that we've taken from cottage life is the importance of coziness.
You've probably heard of the Danish concept of Huga. In his book, Meik Viking says Huga has been called everything from the art of creating intimacy, coziness of the soul, to taking pleasure from the presence of soothing things. A feeling of home. This is something we've always tried to lean into, but especially over the last year.
And I think that really comes back to not taking the simple things for granted.
And the fifth and final thing is how nature inspires our creations.
This one is nothing new. It's one we talk about all the time, especially on this channel. When we moved here, I think it was our first or second walk that we went on, I found a load of wild clay, which is a really nice surprise. And I made a couple of videos already about that clay that I found. It's been very special foraging for wild clay right outside my home, and it gives every piece that little bit more meaning and uniqueness, and every piece holds a really special story.
And speaking of foraging for materials, living in the woods means lots of wind-fallen trees, so I've made a few spoons since being here. That's been really nice, and I love, just like probably like you with pottery, I love engaging with just the natural resources and making something out of organic material.
Yeah, going out and finding something from the forest and turning it into something functional that we use in our kitchen or in our everyday life, like these mugs and spoons and stuff, feels like a little mission. It's been really satisfying.
It is awesome.
Really fun.
But yeah, again, I love bringing the outdoors inside. Same with music, I think. Like, you can't really be inspired to make a piece of music if you're not seeing beautiful things, you know? And I feel like going out in nature is the best way to be inspired to create a piece of music.
Especially for the kind of music you make as well. It's very soundtracky, very atmospheric. There's often bird song included in most of the things you make, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess nature has had an influence.
This is the hill that we're willing to die on, clearly.
Yeah, we keep coming back to just go outside. Just be outside.
Go outside. Go outside. You don't have to live in the woods to go outside.
Exactly.
Just go outside. That was 5 things that we've learned from living here, living a lot closer to nature than we did when we lived in the city. Safe to say we've loved it, and there's no looking back. Who knows what 2024 holds? We have a lot of creative ideas and projects up our sleeves. So, Happy New Year from us. Bye, guys.
Bye.